Welcome to BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. With Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the People's Channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. My name is Ben. It is Friday, August 19th. It is 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Are we on time today? This is the earliest we've ever been. I mean,
Yes.
according to my clock, I'm on time.
We
Y'all tell me
are,
wrong.
yeah, 1 minute late by my clock. But
And guys, if you watched the show yesterday, if you watched the show and you listened and you paid attention, you were prepared for this. You were prepared for this drop. Y'all said it yourselves. We printed a blood diamond on the 4 hour.
on the forehead.
On the forehead. Yeah. We printed a blood diamond on the forehead. A red dot printed yesterday, and then boom, here we go. So you guys can obviously see I've tried to make it look a little better today. It was very distracting yesterday. So I want to thank everybody in the Bit Squad for constantly making fun of me. It was really, really nice, and that's one of my favorite things that you guys do is make fun of me. Guys, but the prices dropped pretty dramatically today. And look, in all seriousness, though, you should have been prepared for this. I know, especially if you're newer to crypto. If you're newer to crypto, you came in last year, you see prices start going up, and you get excited. And you're like, maybe this is it. Maybe it's going back up. Maybe it's going back up. And then we plunge back down. Now, why did we plunge? We are going to look at some reasons. I tend to think that it could possibly be we have a rough range for the Mt. Gox Bitcoin coming out. Did you see that?
I've heard the chatter about it. What's the range?
Basically what they're saying is the third week in August. So that's now. That's
Yeah.
like this week.
Very soon.
So should be coming out soon, but I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's 100% corroborated or not. But let me tell you what I know. What I know is this Mt. Gox thing is gone forever, and I don't know when it's going to end. I don't know if they'll do it in waves. But some people are saying that it's something that sorry, I got confused. I got distracted here. The whole community thing and us versus the manipulation gives off serious cult manipulation. Well, you know what? We brainwash people here. That's what we do. Because you know what? A lot of you have been stuck in this traditional financial system where you just trade all your responsibilities for rights, or you trade your rights for convenience, for the bank to handle all your money, and you're starting to see what happens when you do that. So have you thought about this? Have you thought about maybe someone needs to take your brain out of your head and wash it and get rid of all those old thoughts that you had as we're moving to a totally new system? So yeah, this is a cult. BitSquad cult. Let's go. But in all seriousness, that is really what's going on right now is the traditional financial system continues to beat people down. So much so that you go and have a conversation with someone that is not in crypto. And you say, well, I'm in this thing, Bitcoin, yada, yada. What's the first thing they say? It's not real money. What? The value? Where'd you get the value from? Oh, excuse me. I wish we were talking about fiat currency because obviously the definition of fiat currency is paper not backed by anything. A representation of money not backed by anything. That's the true scam. And the fact that people can't see that, they need to come here and get their brainwashed. And we'll show you the light. We'll show you the way. Can't wait for you guys to get our book, Catching Up to Crypto, when that happens. It'll be out in January. We're going to do a big book tour in February. Really excited about that. And, I think that Gary Gensler's in the chat, people. Gary Gensler back in the chat. Everyone leave the stream immediately. It's all disinformation. Gary Gensler, that is not true. He put out a quiz on Twitter. Did you see that, TJ?
No.
Yeah, he put out a quiz.
That's funny.
The real Gary Gensler.
Yeah.
That might be the real.
No, I doubt.
Crit Cat says the pimple predicted this drop. Absolutely. Ben, what are your thoughts on the Anchor team and devs? Do you see the BitSquad adding the Anchor token to any of your portfolios?
Maybe.
Very possibly. I'm extremely interested in Anchor right now with what they're doing. I think it's the CEO. I can't remember what his position is with Anchor, but I talked with him when I was up in Futurist, and I'll tell you, he gave me some stuff to think about. And we had some contact with him, or we're going to be reaching out to him, find out a little bit more about what they're doing with staking. But I would say Anchor is one I'm definitely very interested in. I think in this next bull run, like, look, you got Cardano, you have XRP, you've got Bitcoin, you have Ethereum. We know those coins are going to do well. It's can we find the other ones in the top 100 that are going to have a possibility to shoot up to the top 10 or the top 20. And I think that's definitely something that we can look at. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get started here. Obviously, don't forget to check out all of our channels here. We don't have the Hit Gaming channel on here.
No.
We should add that.
Yeah, we need to. Normally, we should start just going down the website. That should have them all. But I don't know if the BitBoy website even has it.
Yeah, we can figure that out later. Also, don't forget to smash the like button. It's the number one thing you can do to number one thing you do as a member of the BitSquad to help support the community and to help more people see things about crypto, even on a red day. On a red day, even you want to make sure people are coming in and getting the right information. Also, let's see. On Twitter, I do want to show this real quick. A couple of housekeeping items. Number one, if you go to my profile on Twitter, you scroll down, you'll see my pinned tweet here. The Rare Bloom event is less than 2 months away. We'll be hosting a BitSquad meetup for those in attendance and staying in the Gaylord Rockies Hotel. You can catch myself, other big names like Charles Hoskinson, Ben Gertzel. I can't keep my eyes off that robot these days. She's been playing in a lot of bands. And then also here, you can click this and see also there is a, well, where is my comment? Maybe I need to pull my phone out. Maybe it didn't post. On Twitter Blue, if I don't leave my phone open while it's posting, then it won't post. Yeah, anyways, there is a code for this. I thought it was attached. I'll attach it later if it's not there. It's a BitBoy10. It saves you 10%. We get $0 on that. It's not. Yes, it's an affiliate link in terms of it's a trackable link where Rare Bloom can see how much volume and traffic is going there. We don't make any money. We don't make any money. We're speaking for free. But if you want discount code, you can use BitBoy10, get 10% off. So we're really excited about this event. Can't wait to go there. My wife is coming with me, so we're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure to check that out. And then also, where is the Meta Money thing?
That's at the end. But
oh, the tweet. Okay, so you guys make sure to be following Meta Money here on Twitter. Best place to follow people. Underscore Meta Money underscore. You guys can see their pin tweet. They're giving away $200 in Ethereum today, actually. So 1:30 Eastern. So if you want to go check out Meta Money, make sure to follow them, and then you can subscribe to their channel, tag 3 friends, and you are entered to win $200. Their community is not nearly as large as ours is here. And why am I saying that? Because you have a good chance to win. You have a good chance to win if you go take part in this giveaway. I mean, so far there's only, it looks like 52 people that are entered, so you might have a good chance. All right, let's go and move on to the crypto markets. 20,648 cryptos, 512 exchanges. That number continues to grow. Market cap hovering right back around $1 trillion at 1.029. We spent several days above 1.1. The 24-hour volume, 87 billion. So the volume extremely high for this low market cap. That means people are ready to see Bitcoin drop. That's a way you can interpret that, guys. When the market cap is down considerably and the volume is up considerably, that means that when the prices are dropping, people are piling in and making moves. And that's you know, a thing that's relative to what's going on with the price. It's very interesting. You know, we look at our numbers here a lot. We watch our numbers on the live streams. And what's interesting is when I think, TJ, I think we can actually, maybe we could get Kelly to do something like this. I think we could actually map the number of our views per live stream, or the number of concurrent viewers at least, to the volume. Because that's what I noticed. The other day, the volume was 70 billion, and we had, I think, 5,500 people at the peak. Yesterday, the volume was 60 billion, so down, you know, 1/7, and the views were like 4,700 or concurrent viewers. So I think actually there's probably a relationship between the volume and viewers on YouTube. That would make sense, actually. So it might be an interesting thing to chart. All right, so here we go. We've got Bitcoin dominance now below 40%. Wow. 39.1%, I believe, was the cycle low we looked at yesterday. ETH dominance, 20.1%. The cycle high for Ethereum would be 21.3%, or 21, yeah, that's right, 21.3%, I believe. 5 Paraguays will send you an ETH transaction. And don't forget, guys, we also have Carl coming in here in just a few minutes. Carl from the moon. Carl Runefelt, as he goes by now. Bitcoin coming in, $21,368. Ethereum, $16.91. Binance Coin, $2.82. XRP, 33 cents. Cardano got crushed at 46 cents. $36 for Solana. And this is very interesting because I'm really wondering what to do today with our portfolio and our portfolio videos, because we just don't want to get too far ahead allocating too much of the portfolios. This is why we keep money in stablecoins, exactly like this. So when the prices drop, we can jump in. But the only thing is, do we believe that this is just the beginning of a much larger dump? Or do we think we'll get a quick bounce from here and these will be good prices to buy at? What are your first thoughts about that?
First gut, I mean, I think this confirms, at least supports the theory that we have further to go as time goes on. That being said, I mean, we're mostly stablecoins on most of them, like 80% on the larger one.
70 on the largest one. I think we're 74%. We might have bought a little. We're probably 70 to 75%.
Yeah, I mean, if it was my portfolio, I'd be looking to buy the dip. Not hard necessarily. If I think it's going in deeper, maybe put another 10% in, 15% in, something like that. Just depends on what the actual balance is when you're looking at it. But yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of keeping money on the sidelines, is so you can buy these dips. If you think there's more dip coming, obviously you keep the majority on the sidelines still. But, getting close to 20K is a pretty good buy opportunity on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And 1,400 extremely strong for Ethereum. So
yeah. Well, and we were talking about this while you were gone, is that I don't think we're going to see Ethereum make a new low. I think we'll see Bitcoin make a new low.
Right.
I don't know if we'll see Ethereum, because the merge could protect it and insulate it a little bit. So we were talking about that yesterday. Everybody's been talking about, buy the rumor, sell the news, buy the rumor, sell the news. Generally a strategy that works. We have not seen that strategy particularly work with actual network changes. So EIP 1559, we actually went up the day that it launched. And then that's when Ethereum eventually, a few weeks later, started its track to $5,000 or 49, whatever it got up to. Did it touch 5,000? It didn't, did it? It hit 49. Was that high?
Ethereum?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, unless it was
49.
A wick on a random exchange.
Jeremy says take a 2-month break between cycles and it will help with the acne. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jeremy. That is a really productive comment. Do you still hold Theta? Thoughts for next bull run? We actually don't have any Theta right now. This was one that for some reason I thought that we had and we didn't have, or we had sold it at some point. There were a couple coins we sold that I guess there was miscommunications on. Theta is one that I do want to hold long term, so looking for more positions to get in there. So ultimately, like I agree with what you said, TJ. Keeping money on the sidelines, it's always a good thing to do. I'll try to figure out what we're going to do today for the portfolio video. I've got some ideas. Our optimism play last week didn't really pan out, and that's okay. Sometimes you're going to make those moves. They're not going to pan out. We're going to look for those things to go up, and we're probably going to sell out of that. But trying to find those coins that whether or not you're in them for the short term or the long term, they can work out for the long term. That's definitely a good thing to look at. For instance, if optimism was number 412 on CoinMarketCap, and it looked like it might make an all-time high, I wouldn't be going into that because it's too risky. Because if I do end up having to hold something way down on CoinMarketCap for a long time, then that's not really productive. Because there's a great chance those things will go to zero or drop tremendously. So when we're making those moves for the short term, we need to make sure that we keep in mind that move may not work out. A short-term move may not work out. Eventually the prices go up and then you decide whether you want to hold it or not. So, okay. Hey, Ben, do you know what exchange AMP can be sold? I think Coinbase. You can sell it on Coinbase, I believe still. I don't think they delisted it.
And generally, doesn't CoinMarketCap have a thing for exchanges that shows, like if you go to AMP?
Oh, yeah. Well, let me show them that real quick. That's a good thing to show. If you guys ever want to know what exchanges you can find a coin on, just click the coin on CoinMarketCap. Go here to this little row of words, click markets. And that will show you all the markets by volume that you're going to be able to find Ethereum at, for instance. You can do this with any coin. You scroll down, you see like some of these don't do any volume. I would stay away from those. You will obviously want to use ones that have, high liquidity, and you can test that by looking at the volume. Now we have a Binance link, right? You want to throw that up?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. For Binance.com, you get a $600 sign-up bonus. Binance US, $10 sign-up bonus. Obviously, they're two different companies with different incentive structures. So Binance.com being the major one. we still endorse withdrawing funds and holding it in self-custody wallet, obviously. But if you're a trader, these are safer exchanges that have a lot of options.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. So if you guys want to sign up for Binance, we have a link down below and in the chat. You guys can do that. I like Binance US. Obviously, as Americans, that's what we have to use here. It's got a lot of coins and is highly regulated, so that's good. Carlos Alejandre, hey, I know you don't like Doge, but I have 194,000. What do you do with it?
That's a great question.
It's a great question, guys. I'm not selling things near the bottom. I gave you guys the example yesterday about AMP. AMP's getting delisted everywhere. If something's going to get delisted and I'm not going to be able to trade it, then yeah, jump out of that and jump into something else. But if you still have a coin and you've written it down 80% at this point, the upside of selling now and then buying back in, if it goes lower, the upside of that is not worth it, because there's also a good chance you're going to sell it and then maybe the whole market reverses and now you sold all your coins and you're forced to reallocate that money at higher price points for everything. So definitely something to look into. All right, let's go ahead and bring Carl on. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. What is up, Carl?
Everything is good, and apparently I'm Moon Runefelt right now.
Oh, you see that, TJ?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna fix it.
Which is amazing. It's fine. Moon Runefelt, it's good. It's good. What's up, bro?
Not much, man. Just just chilling. How'd our video do?
All amazing as always. People love when we do videos together, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people that you haven't been on the channel in a while, but you and I are good friends, and a lot of us in the crypto YouTube world are good friends, and so we get to do these little collaborations. It's not just, hey, come check out the charts. It's good to talk and to see you, definitely. So let's get started. Like, what is going on in the markets right now? Obviously, Bitcoin has dropped tremendously. Do you know why that is, and what are the charts showing us right now?
Well, so first of all, I think people always put too much attention on the charts if you are an investor. Look, if you're an investor in Bitcoin, don't stare blindly on the chart to tell you if it's going to go up or down. We all know that Bitcoin will go up in the long run. So sometimes I think it's not useful to stare too much at the chart. However, if you want to make trades, now that's a different story. If you want to actually make money when Bitcoin is breaking down or when it breaks up, yes, the charts are going to be very useful, and that's why I share my analysis with people, right? If you want, I can do a quick little screen sharing here.
Sure.
Let me see. Okay, I hope this works.
Let's see, it's gonna work.
It looks like it's not, because I'm clicking screen sharing, but it's not working.
It may be something with the browser. Did we straighten that out with him one time before, BJ? Is BJ in here?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working. So you're just clicking it, it's not working?
I'm clicking entire screen and it's not working.
Well, that sucks.
But we can just talk about the prices.
Yeah, just talk about what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, I think what we have seen in the past few months is a correction, and corrections are part of the cycles. And actually, when we see a bear market like we see now, that's a huge opportunity. But I want to tell people right now that I believe that we have seen the worst. We have come out of the worst trenches of the bear market. We've seen a bunch of bankruptcies and just a bloodbath. And usually the bear markets start off with a very sharp drop like we've seen now from 70K down to the lowest point. And I think from now on, we're generally going to go sideways for quite some time. And very soon, in the next 6 months, I think we're gonna see a big relief rally where we see a retest of close towards the all-time high, so 40 to 50K. But I don't think it's going to happen next month. I think it's going to happen within the next few months.
Yeah.
And that's why I am taking the opportunity right now to accumulate. And actually, when Ethereum hit $1,000, I went very aggressively, and I told my audience as well. I go aggressively here, so I converted millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin into Ethereum, because I usually trade Bitcoin Ethereum rather than Bitcoin US dollar or Ethereum US dollar when I'm doing spot trading, because I like the chart of Ethereum against Bitcoin. But basically, because I think that we saw the lows. I think that was the low. I don't think Ethereum is ever going to go below $1,000 again. If it does, I will be very surprised. So yeah, and we already saw a small relief rally on Ethereum. I just think we're going to see it very soon also in Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting. So you think Bitcoin has already bottomed? That's what I'm hearing from you. I disagree personally. I think we're going to see more downside before the end of the year, and then we'll hit a bottom and move back up. I know we were talking.
It sounds like you guys both agree that Ethereum might have bottomed.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Ethereum is very interesting because of the merge. I think that can protect it from new lows. What do you think? What do you think, Carl?
I think that the merge has already maybe been priced in the short term. However, like we talked about in the collaboration, you and me, you made it very clear that you think that the supply shock fundamentally will drive the Ethereum price up. I think where we maybe disagree is that I think it's going to be probably in the next 1-2 years where we see the full effect of that. And I actually made a video like 3 days ago where I told my audience that I'm selling 2,000 Ethereum back to Bitcoin. And that's because I think that this rally we saw in Ethereum now was the premature hype of the merge. And I think we're quite likely to see a sell the news event, but maybe we see the sell the news event before the actual event. People try to front run the sell the news event. Maybe I'm just speculating too much here, but that's what I think, and I executed on that. So I started selling off 2,000 Ethereum, and I will keep selling 2,000 Ethereum in the next couple of weeks here, or the next, say, up until the merge and around the merge. And depending on what happens, I will adjust my strategy. But right now, I'm basically the position where I went from Bitcoin to Ethereum. I'm right now scaling back into Bitcoin, netting me more Bitcoin than I started off with.
Yeah, well, that's always good when you can have more Bitcoin. I don't know. Maybe you should use Bitcoin to get more Ethereum. I don't know. I'm just saying, Carl. So I definitely think that we talked about it before you came on today about the buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't think we're going to see that for Ethereum because of EIP 1559. The same thing, network change, price actually went up that day. It continued going up for several more weeks, couple more months. I think what's interesting here is you're looking at the merge, you're looking at the ETH developers and their track record. Even though they're telling us it's definitely launching the 14th or 15th of next month, there's still people that are hesitant. Still people don't believe it. So once it actually does go through, I think there will be a swell of people coming like, well, they did it finally, So I think that's something that could happen. And I think Ethereum, you're right, the full effects won't be felt for years, just like with the halving. When the halving occurs, the effects aren't felt for 6 months to a year, and then finally the price shoots way up. Now, a lot of people are asking about our bet that we made. Do you remember the bet? You said Bitcoin would hit 1 million in 5 years, and I said that it would not. And we made a bet of a Bitcoin over that. That's what that was over. Do you still feel confident that it's going to hit 1 million? I guess now it's probably 4 years. It's probably been a year since we made that bet.
I actually forgot about this, but
the chat remembered it. The chat never forgets, Carl.
Yeah, no, I actually remember this bet, and I stand by that.
Did he mute himself?
I can hear him.
Oh, am I muting myself?
Maybe it's me.
No, you're fine. You're fine, Carl. That was TJ. You're good. Go ahead.
That's TJ. Okay. No, I remember the bet, and I still think it's gonna happen. I mean, if it doesn't, then I'll just pay up. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. I'll come collect. I won't send somebody else. I'll come get it direct, Carl. Yeah. So, anyways,
you and Peter Schiff will work.
Me and Peter Schiff. So what's interesting, I know you said that you sold your Ethereum back for Bitcoin after you made a nice little profit, which is a good thing to do. Now, I will tell you that the Bitcoin dominance and the ETH dominance today, it's getting even further. It's making up even more ground. So I assume if we looked at the ETH Bitcoin chart today, we would see it up a little bit. As yesterday, I think it was at 20 point, let's see what it is at right now. Actually, I'll pull it up. It's at, Bitcoin's at 39.7 and ETH is at 20.1. So that's about a 0.5 percentage drop for Bitcoin and just like a 1/10 of a drop for Ethereum. But overall, Ethereum's market cap is continuing to make up ground against Bitcoin. Do you believe?
You know what?
Go ahead.
I agree with you. And that's exactly why I converted millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin into Ethereum.
Yeah.
Because I see the same thing you see in the chart. I see Ethereum very strong since 2-3 months back against Bitcoin. So I converted a bunch of Bitcoin into Ethereum, and I didn't say I sold the whole position. I am
Oh, got it.
slowly scaling
Okay.
back into Bitcoin. So
Smart.
I'm doing it in tranches. So if Ethereum keeps going up now, which I think is definitely possible in the merge and after the merge, you know, I see your side of the story, that whatever you said in the collaboration, I think it's a possibility that that plays out. So I don't want to sell everything now, because then I miss out on a potential insane price increase. So that's the good thing about when you dollar cost average. Many people talk about dollar cost averaging into things, but actually you can also dollar cost average out of things. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm dollar cost averaging
Beautiful.
out of a quite sizable position. And this is a spot position, by the way. Sometimes I do derivatives trading. Sometimes I do spot trading. When I do spot trading, I'm taking essentially big parts of my net worth, or my holdings, and converting them back and forth. But if I do derivatives trading, I'm just doing intraday or intra-week trading with leverage, basically. So those are two different things. And this is a big spot trade I did. And so far, it played out very well. And if Ethereum keeps pumping up, then it will keep doing very well.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, that was what you just said. People in the chat, people that are watching, go back and watch that again, what he just said. That is so pivotal to your strategy to making money and locking in profits. Dollar cost average out. You don't have to always dollar cost average in. You don't have to sell everything at one time. And I definitely think that the way you describe that, the way you handle those spot positions, I mean, I think that's incredible. That's exactly what people should be doing. We tell people all the time, don't do one big move with everything, ever. You want to do little moves all the time. And I think pulling profits out is ETH still may have some more upside. I think it's definitely a great thing. So, Carl,
Yeah.
do you have anything else you want to share with us today?
Yeah, look, even the best trader in the world cannot pick the exact top. That said, no one ever got poor from taking profits. So if you take profits, you did well. If it keeps pumping, yes, you will feel a little bit bad. Maybe you didn't time the market exactly. But if you dollar cost average out, at least you will make a little bit of profits. And then whatever happens after that, if it goes up or down, it will be less of a headache for you. So I agree with you. What I said now is very important, because it saves you the stress and headaches of timing the exact market all the time. It's very hard to do that.
Yeah, well, that's great. It's great advice. And Carl, you know, I'll be in Dubai here in a couple months. We'll get to hang out in Dubai. Looking forward to that. We'll have to make one of those crazy videos where we take a picture for the thumbnail like Chris does. Yeah, exactly. You know how it is. All right, Carl. Well, thanks for coming on, man. We'll have you back on down the road.
Bye, bro.
See you, man. Thanks. All right. I love Carl. I really like Carl a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. Something. Someone didn't like his jacket. I thought the jacket was nice, man. You want to get some good stuff, you go check out Carl Moonwalking on Twitter. He's pretty good. Carl's pretty good. He can moonwalk. He can stand on his toes like a ballerina. It's amazing.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and get going with Twitter buzz here.
Twitter buzz. Twitter buzz.
China is selling U.S. treasuries. See, I want to sing it every time. Every time I want to sing it. Importing endless amounts of gold. Economy is slowing. Developers in China across the board are feeling the heat. Don't think this will ripple throughout the world. It already has. See global growth. Guys, I've been telling you this for a while. China's a house of cards. They're a house of cards. It is not a real economy like you think that it is. It's not the real economy that they're selling to you on the media, that we need to be terrified of China and that they're going to take us over and they've got so much money and they're going to be the world superpower, yada, yada, yada. What's really interesting is right now, if you are looking at what's going on around the world, we have two superpowers, the United States and China. Look back at all the other times in history that we had two superpowers. What always happens? One of them falls away. One of them wins. Now, it doesn't mean there's a direct war between the two. Certainly, there have been direct wars between superpowers in the world. But look at the U.S. and the USSR. When we were both superpowers, it led to the Cold War, which wasn't technically a real war. It was fought in a different kind of way. But eventually, the USSR lost, and they had to, tear down the wall and, give up their communism for a period of time, I guess. But when you're looking at China right now, their weakness is their economy. People think it's their strength, it's their weakness. They have many weaknesses. Also, in addition to their economy, the fact that one day the people are going to realize there's a lot more of us than there are of the government. We're not going to let you lock us in our houses. And you're seeing pushback in China from citizens. You saw it in that bank, the bank run that happened a few weeks ago. You saw it with when they were locked in Shanghai in the apartment buildings. Drones were telling them to stop singing. They were like singing, or I can't remember, yelling. Can't remember exactly what they were doing. You're starting to see some pushback there. And I think it's going to be really interesting. We've got a big China video coming out for you guys in probably 2 weeks. Where we're going to really be going over a lot of stuff you do not know about what's going on here. There's a lot going on under the surface here with China that you can't actually see. But guess what? We're going to show it to you. All right. Super chat, Devin Washington. Thank you. Tell us if you're still bullish on PRQ. Also, you say you haven't heard of ArcBlock. Both are Amazon partners available on Coinbase. Yeah, I just don't know much about ArcBlock. I'm not sure. PRQ is
Parsec.
Parsec. That's kind of like similar to Grid, I believe, right?
I believe I remember we covered it a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it's database kind of stuff. Guys, I cover a lot of coins. It's been 2 years since we covered that one probably. But I know Elio was really bullish on it at the time. He was the one that really told me that this is one to watch. So check that one out. But right now it's not on my radar. So all right.
Supposedly both chat says looking at partnering with Amazon and Coinbase.
Yeah. You were here when I said I talked to the guy from Amazon for that? Or was that yesterday?
That could have been
the guy I met from Amazon at the conference.
You said they're I just heard working on big stuff.
Yeah, they're working on crypto stuff. All right, go ahead. Apple discloses.
Sorry, on the China thing, on the house of cards, I would say obviously yes, their economy is a house of cards. Ours is somewhat, and I would just say the global economy is a lot more of a house of cards than they really want you to believe. It's not like nothing super stable right now, in my opinion.
I think there's a difference. I think there's a difference. So let me explain what I mean. On one sense, you're definitely correct. The difference is China's economy problems are hidden. Yeah. You can't see them by looking at what's going on in the country. They're money laundering, they're wash trading, they're doing all kinds of stuff behind the scenes. Because guess what? They also control the PBC, the People's Bank of China. And so you can't see what they're doing. In the United States, our economy also is a house of cards. You're starting to see it fall a little bit. The difference is it's out there and we all see it. We all know it. Every person who's ever done any research into fiat currency and our inflation, our money printing, removing the gold standard, our debt, our consumer debt, they're having to constantly raise the debt ceilings. This stuff is all in front of us, all in front of our face. A lot of people just choose to ignore it. I'd say that's a big difference. When I say house of cards, usually it would mean that there's some kind of, like almost like an air of mystery to it. Like, oh, it's a beautiful house. But then it just gets knocked down when one card pulls away. Nobody's looking at the United States economy and saying, that's a beautiful house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was just...
there is a world economy problem. That you're correct.
Yeah, it's all built on leverage, basically. And it's coming home to roost.
Breaking. Apple discloses serious security vulnerabilities for iPhone, iPads, and Macs. Experts urge users to update devices. How do you feel about when they tell you to update your device?
I don't love it. I mean, I've been pushing.
I hold out as long as I can.
Yeah, I've been pushing this update off for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
At some point, it's going to happen. You're going to have to update. Your phone's going to force you to. But
it just does it when you're not looking.
Yeah. Does anybody know what that actually is? What those vulnerabilities are? Maybe somebody can put it in the chat. I know at some point there was where somebody could maybe use your iPhone like a keylogger or something at some point. I don't know if that is what this has to do with. But look, overall, in my opinion, Macs are way safer than PCs. I can't imagine using a PC to do anything with crypto. I know the gamers love PCs, and that's great. But in terms, thank you, BitBoys Pimple. How do you feel about DOT today? It's inoperable.
That's good.
Wow. Okay. All right. Next.
Yeah. Next. On that note.
All right. Update. Huobi Exchange stablecoin HUSD has repegged the US dollar following a 83-cent depeg yesterday. Guys, these are the reasons why the government wants to go after stablecoins. They are chasing stablecoins before anything else. Yeah, that may actually not be true. They are going after stablecoins, but I think what we're starting to see here within our government, between the SEC and the CFTC, is that The Senate hates Gary Gensler. The Senate hates the SEC. What the Ripple case has done to the SEC has embarrassed it, and it's exposed all of their corruption. Hey, I got to say, I didn't think Brad Garlinghouse won any of this fight, but I'll be danged. They have crushed the SEC nonstop. The William Hinman emails, the the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance connections, obviously the double speak from Gary Gensler on different stuff and him not registering his own funds, and he's got all kinds of issues as well. It has totally exposed them. So what we might be seeing right now, and I can tell you just for 100% fact, there is movement on this. They may actually be trying to remove the power from the SEC before even the stablecoin regulation goes through.
Yeah.
So that is a change that's occurred in the last few weeks as this Gary Gensler and William Hinman stuff has just gotten worse and worse and worse. So definitely something to pay attention to. So
Did you see? Oh, go ahead.
we need to get the Solana blockchain-based phone. That's in the works with HTC. It'd be so weird, like you just be on the phone. You'd be like, hey, how's it going? Person will be talking. Hold on, I need to pause. You have to drop the phone. You have to pause. Yeah.
It would be nice to have a hardware manufacturer that's not. And guys, don't fool yourselves to think that Solana and FTX isn't going to abide by government regulation either.
Right.
They will.
Yeah.
So it's going to be just like Apple.
Do you remember?
Well, if they're lucky.
Do you remember the blockchain phone?
Yeah.
What was the name of that project? Didn't we look
I
at
can't remember.
the Finny? It was called the Finny phone.
Finny.
The Finny phone. It was called the Finny phone. Let me pull it up here.
While you're pulling that up, have you heard the latest with the BlackRock saga?
No, tell me.
20 states, DOJ going after them for the way they use their shares, not representing shareholders, going after the board seats.
This is coming,
the whole
guys.
thing we were talking about.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that had happened so far.
It broke on Fox apparently last night.
That's crazy
20
because I was just telling you a couple weeks ago, I was talking to people, and this is becoming a talking point.
Yeah.
Because here's what people don't realize. Here is the secret information that probably 99.9% of you do not know. All the other hedge funds, they hate BlackRock. Everyone hates BlackRock because they're the behemoth in the space. Now, if they got removed, Vanguard would go to the top, or another one would go to the top and take its place, still do evil stuff and try to get away with everything. But BlackRock's biggest weakness is the fact that all the other hedge funds hate them too. And just like you always hate, I guess, people who are in front of you to some extent. I mean, not hate, maybe that's a strong word. But when there's people that are excelling over you and you're competitive and you want to get to the top and you see those people, like, you got to figure out a way to get them out of your way. I think that's what we're seeing right now. It could be very interesting. It seems like, I don't know, it seems like it's such a juxtaposition here of, we're on the precipice of something. I don't know what it is. We got BlackRock on one hand, World Economic Forum trying to take over everything, trying to make sure that you will own nothing and be happy. And on the other side, we have other hedge funds that are fighting against BlackRock because they hate BlackRock. What's going to happen here? If this goes a regulatory direction, let me tell you what we could see. We could see BlackRock split up into several different hedge funds where it's harder for them to track what they're doing. Yeah, we could definitely see that, I think. I had a conversation with some people. Do you know what the Big Four is?
As far
heard
as
of the Big Four? It's just called the Big Four. It's the Big Four accounting firms in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ernst & Young, Deloitte. I don't know the other two. But I spoke with some people that work at one of those places, and they told me that they have been having struggles basically with only 4 companies being called monopolies and antitrust laws and stuff like that. And they're actually going to be splitting up as well. There's going to be more than 4 accounting firms. Whenever there's a consolidation of power, I think we're going to see these things start to break up a little bit, try to move into smaller, different areas, still try to do all the same stuff. But that way it's harder to say, like, if we want to know what BlackRock owns, it's very easy. We just go to a company, you look at the stockholders, and you see BlackRock's at the top of almost every major company out there. Well, if there are 4 or 5 we had to watch, then they could spread that out more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
Oh, this hedge fund is this company. This hedge fund has Tesla. This hedge fund has Facebook, not knowing it's all the same money. So, yeah, very interesting stuff.
Very
Interesting. How are you feeling about Great Reset?
You mean just what do you mean? How am I feeling? Not great. Don't love it.
You think it's coming?
Yeah, I think
you think it's going to happen?
Absolutely. I don't know if it's gonna what the timeline is. I don't think it's gonna. We're not probably gonna see the worst of it in our lifetime. That's what I'm hoping for. Like, I think it's a 50+ years cycle. Sometime in the next 100 years, though, absolutely we'll see that. And I think the more we dig into this real estate stuff, the more we see it's
Yeah.
been in motion the whole time. I was talking about that yesterday with looking at, the WeChat stuff, and they were pumping up the Evergrande stocks and accumulating all this real estate, losing all the investors' money, but they still hold a lot of land.
They lost $2 trillion last year.
And then they're doing it all over again.
Yep.
So it's like they're pumping and dumping the stock market at an incredible scale. We were looking yesterday at mergers and acquisition numbers. Highest numbers of all time, acquisitions and mergers in 2021. So they printed
And
a ton of money.
2020 was the year, or was it 2019 that was the year all the CEOs stepped down?
It was 2019 and 2020.
Yeah.
So they pumped the crap out of the money supply. People closest to the money supply use that to acquire good cash flowing businesses, stack up everything, buy all the real estate. And if they keep doing that over and over, they extract all the value. And then that's how they own it all.
Well, and this really started back in the 2008 financial crisis.
Absolutely.
They crashed the market and then came in and bought everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting stuff.
That
Somebody
was the
said-
first pump and dump.
Absolutely. So
Or
somebody
maybe
said
not.
something up there about you're looking at working at Deloitte. Is that a good idea? I don't look, any large centralized company, there's going to be bad stuff there, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't work there on the lower levels. Not that you're a lower level person, but outside of the top, the board members and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure there's great people that work there. I'm not saying anything bad about Deloitte or about the Big Four. I was just using that as an example of a strategy. When the government starts coming at you and businesses start coming at you, you can break up your structure into smaller parts, and then it's harder to track. So we see with these whale wallets. The whale wallets do the same thing. They start slowly removing their coins from their whale wallets into smaller wallets. That makes it harder to track at one time what everybody's doing. Now, a chain analysis expert can obviously do it, but not your average everyday person. So here's the Finny phone, by the way. You can still buy this thing?
Looks like it.
$999.
Look, this is what I'll say.
Siren Labs was the name of the project. It went to zero, basically.
Yeah.
So
What I'll say about these kind of things, hardware, very difficult. Not saying it's not good for the space. It will probably push Web3 mobile development forward in a major way. That being said, somebody doing hardware that's never done hardware before,
rough.
Very difficult.
Yeah. Apple and Android and Samsung. I mean, they control everything at this point.
They'll appreciate the research that the Solana phone will do for them.
Yeah. So said, but banks are doing good today, not like 2008, 2011. Yeah, that's true, but that's really irrelevant how the banks are doing to the larger plan from the hedge funds. They're the ones that really drive the banks.
Also, probably not true depending on how you look at it. They're not doing good. They have no money. Yeah.
All right.
Never mind.
550 billion in crypto liquidated as Bitcoin and Ethereum plunged significantly. Bitcoin at 20,000 and Ether at $1,000 minimum, expects ARK Invest analyst. What? That's so weird. Why would they say 20,000 and Ethereum at 1,000?
Minimum, meaning it could go lower.
Okay. Chris Bernitsky, a former ARK Invest analyst and well-known crypto enthusiast, took pity on those of his colleagues who put bullish chips on the table, backing up his tweet with his prediction from early August. In the forecast, Bernitsky predicted either a retest of the June lows or a significant correction from those levels. In case you had a bullish blinders on at the time, guys, are we really saying like a drop? Now, I do believe it's going lower, but a drop from 24,000 to 21,500, a $2,500 drop, like that's the end of the world. Like that's what will ruin your investment. I don't understand. He's putting too much weight on this drop that we had. It's worth watching for reactions from blocks. Support level 21,400. Need to consolidate above 21.8. Where are we at right now? Right now we are at 21.4. So it's holding that line right now. So very interesting. We'll see what happens. I do think ETH will not go below $1,000. But when he says minimum, does he mean? See, that's a weird use of the word minimum.
He's just
is he saying a drop, a drop that's to $1,000 is as far as we can expect it to go?
No,
or are you
it
saying
will
he thinks
go
it can go further?
at least that far.
Isn't that a weird way to use the word minimum?
Yeah, minimum.
That doesn't really make sense in that context. But
It's probably, if you read the other tweets, it probably makes more sense. They should have put them in the article, but it sounds like
really it should be saying $1,000 maximum. Like it's going to $1,000 or lower. Anyways.
Yeah, 1,000 or lower.
Maybe a nitpicky. Ethereum price takes a fall with 4 weeks till the merge, but still up 94% in 2 months. On Friday, the ETH price is down around 6%, which is not bad considering that ADA, Sol, DOT, Matic, and AVAX suffering double-digit percentage losses. Thanks to the current risk-off mood that's resulted in the U.S. dollar index surging. And if you listen to what Frank was saying, it's definitely got room to go here on the dollar index. This is from Justin Bennett. We just covered him the other day. This could mean trouble for crypto and stocks. DXY just closed above 107.3, which means next stop is likely 108.7. Let's do a quick check on where that is right now. Where's the DXY? Here it is. Right now it's at 108.14. 108. So getting pretty close to that. It's kind of in between these numbers here. Let's see. The merge. Australian crypto investor and analyst Miles Dusher. Is that how you say his name? Dusher?
Probably.
Deutscher. Let's say Deutscher. It sounds better.
Yeah.
He's part of a crypto banner these days. Yeah, these guys, crypto banner. What are they doing? They're bringing all these other people. Rand, you're the only person people want to see. They want to see Rand all the time on the show. That's it. I don't respect shows that bring in other people to host sometimes. That was a joke, guys. I don't know if you got that. Anyways, he recently joined Crypto Banner. We love all those guys. To host the daily DeFi show, explained earlier today why the merge may not be fully priced in. Seeing a large portion of CT fading the ETH merge gives me hope that it's not priced in. I agree with him 100% here. No question about it. That's exactly what I was explaining to Carl. Crypto analyst Ali Martinez offered today's technical analysis of Ethereum's latex price action. Appears to have broken out of the rising wedge. Could enter a 28% correction towards 1,300. That would be fine. Let's check this out. Let's look at ETH real quick and say if it got a 38% correction from where it is right now, what that would be. Let's see. That would put it at right at $1,100. Now let's check Bitcoin and see if Bitcoin had a 38% drop, where that would be at. Because that might tell us something kind of interesting here. If what I'm thinking we're going to see, we're going to see. Okay, so here, 38%. 38% would put Bitcoin at $13,825. So what's interesting is that supports my theory that we could actually see, because the Ethereum merge has caused Ethereum to gain so much ground against Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin drop 38%. And if Ethereum matches it, it still doesn't go below $1,000. But yet Bitcoin will be breaching that $10,000 to $14,000 range a lot of us have been looking for. Now, I think what's going to be really interesting is to look when Bitcoin hits that range. Do we start feeling bullish? We start feeling bullish, or do we think, maybe it's going to tap the bottom of the range? I think it's basically going to be one move. It's going to be one move. It's going to be a move down to that range. When it comes up out of that range, back above 14K, I don't think we'll see it back down there again. So there are 4 banks in bankruptcy right now: Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs. How about that?
That was interesting. I looked it up just out of curiosity. Apparently, Wells Fargo is in bankruptcy right now, which I didn't realize.
Henry would not be happy.
Bank of America has a probability of bankruptcy at 75%. JP Morgan at 51%, which apparently is like standard, which is insane.
Like all the time?
I guess it's just across the industry. That's the industry standard, is around 50% probability of bankruptcy for financial services, which is nuts. So it's not as safe as you think, people.
I've been called an ETH maxi in this chat a lot today while I'm wearing an XRP shirt.
Yeah. They don't know
if you think I'm a maxi, you're an idiot.
Well, you don't know what a true maxi is, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. You are a low IQ maxi if you think that. If you watch this show and what you get out of it is I only talk about Ethereum, I don't know. Maybe you have like a lot of disabilities or something. You can't process. You can't think straight. I don't know what it is. No, we love people with disabilities, but I'm just saying you obviously have something that doesn't allow you to process what's going on right in front of you. So really sorry that that's happening for you. I don't know if you've been dealing with it forever or if it's a new thing for you. But yeah, we're definitely not ETH maxis on this channel. What's the deal on Market Cypher? Yesterday it was just an affiliate link. The code is Big Ben 10, I think. Big Ben 10. I think that's the numbers. That's the one from CryptoFace. Either to see rare triple halving after the merge. Oh, they said halvening here. Hey. I used to say halvening. I think halvening is a better way to say it, because trying to explain a halving to a normal person, they're like, halving? What do you mean halving? That's not like a real word. They take it like, I will have something. And so halvening differentiates it. But people push way back hard on me on that, so I've adopted and peer pressured into just saying halving. I used to only say halving for a long time. How this will drastically affect every ETH holder. And this is the stuff you want here, guys. With the Ethereum merge just around the corner, the crypto community has expectations for the Ethereum ecosystem. Software updates will dictate the halving process. Development team is successfully deployed 3 updates since 2015, which dictate the amount of ETH issued to miners. 2015 to 2017, 5 ETH issued. 2017 to 2019, 3 ETH. And from 2019 to present, 2 ETH. So now we've got where it talks about the triple halving. What does this mean? It's a once-in-a-lifetime event. Once-in-a-lifetime event for Ethereum. This is where the recently introduced triple halving phenomenon comes into play. When Ethereum switches to proof of stake, miners become obsolete and are replaced by validators. Validators consume less energy, and tokens issued to validators are way less. Consequently, ETH supply will be increased by just 0.4% post-merge. I've heard it's 0.2% instead of the current 4.3%. This also leads to a reduction in sell pressure up to 10x, and we do know the validator nodes are not going to be able to sell for 6 months. So it's not like all of a sudden everybody's going to dump their ETH. Yet another reason why this is not a buy the rumors, sell the news.
And even once they can sell, it's still queued up on a schedule. So you can't sell it all at once. So it's not even a thing.
Look, you look 6 months after the merge. I mean, at that point, you're only a year away from the halving. And so, do people say, oh, just sit on this Ethereum at this point, won't even sell it off because they don't have to sell it off to remain profitable. That's something people don't understand here, okay?
Yeah.
When it comes to these validator nodes in the proof of stake system, there's no incentive for validators to sell all their Ethereum. They don't have to sell them to stay profitable. Whereas with Bitcoin, what happens with these miners is they have to sell off Bitcoin over time to pay expenses for their mining. So it's quite different. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you don't take care of that pimple, Frankie Candles won't do TA for you. And no, Ben, this isn't a fake account. Dave Davidson. Why did you have me read that?
I was pointing out the name that it sounded like a fake account. I was just highlighting Dave Davidson.
I can tell you, I do know Nick Diamandi is at least one person in the chat. I do know who he is. I figured it out. But it would be really funny. It's hilarious. Wong noted these 3 techniques make up the triple halving post-merge, which will drastically reduce ETH supply. Phenomenon is incredibly bullish as it will likely increase the asset's price. That's from Olivia Brooke. Hey, Olivia. Nice to see you. Let's see. The period imposed on 14.24, 11% of supply. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what you were saying. A systematic process to withdraw. Guys, ETH merge. Not by the rumors, tell the news. I'm sorry. Now, does that mean that there will be a drop the day it goes up? Maybe a little one.
Yeah.
But this is a long-term play here that's going to have continual upward action for Ethereum.
I think we'll see a little turmoil, volatility. That could go either direction, by the way, up or down. Quick up, quick down, something like that, right around day of, day after, day before. But nothing sustained, in my opinion.
God, these guys will not let the pimple go today.
No, they love it. Hey, they need something to have fun with. There's a lot of red.
Well, it feels like crypto's about to pop.
Yeah, it does. Hey, if you could set us free, we'll take it.
FTC weighs sweeping new rules on commercial surveillance and big data. Federal Trade Commission is considering whether to write sweeping new regulations that could restrict how businesses collect and use consumer data, hinting at a possible crackdown on commercial algorithms and a sprawling economy powered by the personal information of millions of Americans. Technological advancements over the last few decades have delivered enormous benefits, but they've also delivered tools that now enable persistent tracking and routinized. How would you pronounce that? Routinized?
Routinized.
Surveillance of individuals. I've never seen that word in my life. Said Khan at a press conference Thursday, is the nation's top privacy and data watchdog. The FTC has broad authority to prosecute unfair and deceptive business practices. It is rare, however, for the agency to exercise its rulemaking authority, and the effort to potentially draw new privacy regulations reflects an unusual flex of FTC muscle. FTC Commissioner Alvaro Bedoya said the congressional bill is the strongest privacy bill that's ever been this close to passing. I hope it passes. I hope it passes soon. Vowed that if the bill becomes law, he would vote to approve only those FTC privacy regulations that complement legislation. Are we seeing a move in our government right now to try to get more agencies on board with each other? That's the way it feels,
Yeah, it does feel like kind of a rallying cry to get, like it's a last ditch effort. And I think part of the scale up too is they kind of know we're a couple of years like say things get dramatically worse, right? Like just theoretically, chaos comes. You don't think we've seen civil unrest yet? Imagine what it's going to be like 2 years worse than what we've already seen. So I think that's why you see so much scale up with actual force in places that it doesn't really make sense to have force. They just need people on their side. They're worried about the numbers game, like you always talk about. There's
Yeah.
way more of us than them. So they're staffing up.
How can they control a large population that's bigger than them? And that's what they're trying to do at all
Fear.
times. Thank you, David, mostly for that super chat. I see that. Okay, moving on here with this. This is a crackdown on commercial algorithms. I guess they're talking about social media there.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Because, obviously the Facebook algorithm is extremely evil. Wait, you're the one telling me about the layoffs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, talk about that real quick. This
No,
is
it
insane.
was a story I saw this morning on Meta, formerly Facebook.
Yeah.
Apparently, they've laid off 60 people in Austin, one of their department, their corporate headquarters, basically with an algorithm. The algorithm selected based on who knows what. People found out on a video call, basically saying like, "Look, there's no real description. You're just the one the computer picked. See you around the building, or not."
That's a great way to fire people, I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
A video message.
It feels
It's
pretty.
it's not me. It's a robot. It's not me. It's a robot.
Yeah.
Robot.
I don't. Did you ever see that movie where George Clooney was supposed to be going like that's what his job was to like close up companies
Up
and
in
they
the
were
air?
trying-
Was that
up
it?
in the air?
That was a
Yeah.
good movie. I like
Yeah.
that movie. Pretty good.
It's very much that storyline of feeling very taking the human element out of it,
Yeah.
which is pretty dangerous. I feel like if you care about people, mental state, all that kind of stuff. So it's sad. It's pretty savage,
Yeah.
but it's right on brand for Zuckerberg, robot style.
Robot style. Maybe he was the robot.
Yeah.
But that's very interesting. They're looking at those commercial algorithms. Programmable money should terrify you from Leah Halpern. Sure. This is stuff we all say. Government control programmable money should terrify you. It says social media influencer and TV host Leah Halpern, who sees central bank digital currencies as a way for banks and governments to reign control over their people. We know all this stuff. We talk about this every day. Obviously, well, I tell you, I did have an interesting conversation last night about CBDCs. Bugs Life recruiting their grasshoppers. I don't know what that means. Wait, is that a pimple joke? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I assume they're all pimple jokes today. Last night, I went to dinner with Crypto Keeper. He's out here visiting.
Oh yeah, I heard.
Yeah, so we went out to 1885 House. Love 1885 House. If you are ever in Ackworth, my gosh, 1885 House is so freaking good. I love calamari. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They have the very, very best. But I get the steak frites. That's my go-to over there. It's pretty good. It's not too fancy. It's like normal price stuff, But anyways, the point is, we were having this conversation about CBDCs last night, and he's terrified of CBDCs for I think a different reason than most people would be afraid of them, right? Like most people are afraid of CBDCs for this reason right here, right? Because it's controllable money, it's programmable. Your social credit score is coming in. You're going to be approved to do this. You're not going to be approved to do that. It's very scary stuff. But he was really from more of his perspective of what does this mean for the rest of crypto? And this is a very common thing that I hear people talking about. And look, I can't say that I'm 100% right on this, but what I will tell you is I don't think so. I'm not worried at all about the rest of the crypto markets. Why? If we have CBDCs and we're all using CBDCs as fiat currency, basically, that's no different than the system we already have. You're still going to be able to speculate on the crypto markets. Now, that will put a gut punch into a lot of different coins that are actually trying to be currencies. So those, your Bitcoin Cash, your Dash, your privacy coins to some extent, there'll always be a need for those. So the fact is, it's not going to affect the crypto markets, I don't think, very much. It's actually going to probably give more credibility to blockchain.
Liquidity.
But what's that?
It adds liquidity.
Adds liquidity. And what's really interesting here is, I just don't believe, like TJ said, if we get totally taken over here in America by our own government, basically, it's a long ways away. Not in our lifetimes, probably. Now, we can make slow movements towards that in our lifetime. Great reset, the whole 9 yards. But the thing is, they don't want you to really exactly know what they're doing. So they're not going to immediately come in and figure out a way, like make buying crypto illegal because they have these CBDCs. They're going to allow you to still speculate on that market because If not, then it's like their plans are too obvious,
Mhm.
you know? And so I don't think they're going to do anything like that with CBDCs. They are going to be the future. They are terrifying, but I don't think it's something to worry about in terms of your crypto investments, unless you are invested specifically into coins that are trying to be currencies. Bitcoin also not trying to be a currency anymore. It is what it is, which is digital gold. Maybe down the road, similar to the way the gold back US dollars, Bitcoin might back another asset in the future. But there we go.
What's scary is more the control they're gaining by them. I shared an interesting thread on Twitter I read that basically broke down stable coins are the determining factor which fork to support on this ETH fork, because the fact that all the tokens and stable coins and everything are going with this one fork is more or less the determining factor. It immediately makes the other one valueless.
Yeah.
So that's an attack vector to think about. But like you just said, it's going to take time. You're going to see slow erosions of freedom, which is the way they do it.
Absolutely. A little bit of time. So the Bugs Life comment was about the number of
Oh.
ants versus the number of grasshoppers. They finally figured out, hey, there's way more of us.
Got it.
And that's what happens in every revolution. In every revolution, that's the way it happens. You know,
That's
you
what
realize,
they're afraid of.
wait, there's more of us than there are of them. And, you know, look, we have not seen the last revolution in the world.
No.
We have not seen it.
We have
So-
seen them get much better at delaying them, though.
Yeah.
Keep people in their homes, take away their weapons, make them feel comfortable.
It's so funny. On one hand, you know, it's you know, defund the police. You know, we want to defund the police, make sure they don't have any you know, any funding because we don't need protection. But then on the other hand, they're like, no one should own a gun. No, don't own a gun. Not any way, shape, or form should you own a gun.
Only government.
Only government should have that. You know, all these people saying this, of course, you know, they have armed security. Very interesting that the back and forth. You cannot trust the government. Let's go make sure that we can't trust the police. We hate them. Let's go march against the police. Now, look, there are certainly bad policemen. I told a story the other day that people might have heard about that. Definitely bad policemen out there. There's great ones out there too. But the whole idea of we can't trust them, but yet also let's hand over all of our weapons because there's no chance they'll ever try to hurt us. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Does not make sense. You can't have, if you want to like have one of those, if you want to have those two ideas, one of them's got to be mutually exclusive. Like you can't have both of those ideas. It doesn't make sense. You can't not trust the government and also say the government will never take us over. That's not a real thing. So we're big proponents of the Second Amendment here. And, you know, I think that it's something in the United States that hopefully does not get it done away with for my lifetime. Wife of arrested Tornado Cash dev forbidden to speak with him. Rally organized. Zinnia Malik, the wife of Tornado Cash creator Alexei Pertsev, has lashed out at Dutch authorities for treating her husband like a dangerous criminal following his arrest last week. Decentralized finance aggregator 1inch is one of many who are vocal about the matter. Having said that the arrest of Pertsev threatens to create a dangerous precedent as it could kill the entire open source software segment. The developers are held responsible for any software they create that is misused by others. And
I mean, because that's the big thing. He's not
slippery
arrested.
slope.
He's not getting arrested for money laundering. He's getting arrested for developing a software that was used for that.
Yeah.
You know, and it is a slippery slope.
Same for mine. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate those kind of words there, sir. Or ma'am. I assume maybe, sir. Just statistically in crypto, probably. Pertsev's arrest isn't entirely disapproved of. Kevin O'Leary stated in a recent interview, Tornado Cash is part of a crypto cowboy culture that messes with the primal forces of regulation, while going on to describe Pertsev's arrest as a necessary one. I can't figure out how, like, I can't figure out where I fall on this. I really can't, because Tornado Cash is obviously, it's a bad thing, in my opinion. I mean, something that allows people to launder money very, very, you know, clearly and cleanly. That's not what we want in the United States. We don't want people laundering money, right? Why? Well, that allows nefarious forces to get bigger and stronger, organized crime to get bigger and stronger. Certainly make the argument our government kind of fits into that same category. But, you know, I'm just talking about dealing with real things. Like you don't want these criminals to be able to run unchecked, but yet it was just a piece of software that was created. But you kind of look at this decentralized world and you say, okay, well, if it's decentralized, then I can create anything as long as I don't use it and someone else uses it, even if it can be used for something very, you know, clearly bad, then I shouldn't be responsible. But I can also see, like, where does the rabbit hole end? You know,
Right.
where do you stop and say, this is the point where someone's involvement with an open source software, this is illegal and here's where it's legal. And it's just hard to find that exact line. And I think that's right now, it seems like this seems to be the line. You got people on both sides of this. You got the institutions and the people that have been in the markets for a long time, traditional markets, saying, hey, this is good. Let's get rid of these people. You have your libertarians in crypto, which is a large percentage, at least in the early days. People would say they have no right to arrest this guy for doing this. This is kind of what blockchain's about. It's just interesting stuff here. And like I said, do I want this guy arrested? No, like, I don't think this guy, I don't know him from Adam. But I don't think it's great he's arrested. I hate that for him and his family. He created it a long, long time ago. I would be more interested in the people that funded it. I'd be more interested in the people funding it and the first people who were using it in this way. That might be a better indicator of who's actually done the crime here. If they can't find that this guy's done any money laundering with it, I think that might be the line where he gets to go free. If he himself has used it to money launder, they're going to nail him to the wall. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. God, people. I love these people. FTX lacks more privacy tools after Tornado Cash sanctions. Cannot say that right. Tornado Cash sanctions. FTX appears to be blocking users from sending funds that interacted with Aztec protocol. The crypto community reacted negatively to FTX's restriction. Let's see. Can't believe this. So anyone who interacts with privacy chain is frozen from now on. You know what else is privacy preserving? Cold hard cash. What's next? They start freezing those users for being involved with mixers. So anyways, I'm very proud to say this don't affect me at all. I'm very proud to say I've never one time used a Bitcoin mixer.
Or Ethereum mixer.
Or an Ethereum mixer. Oh yeah, Tornado Cash Ethereum. I forgot about that. But I've never used one. So I don't have anything to be concerned about. A lot of people are going to be concerned about this are people that have been using those things for years, trying to hide and not pay their taxes. And they're not going to want this to come out. And then their funds could potentially be frozen. But the question is, what if someone used it and then in a peer-to-peer transaction sent that money to someone who didn't have anything to do with the mixer, and then that gets frozen? That's, once again, very slippery slope.
Yeah, that's the problem, is there's really no way to police this regulation that they put out.
Yeah.
Unless you start closing everything, which doesn't really work.
Well, I think what they're doing is, what we're seeing across the world is, people trying to make examples. Government's trying to make examples out of people. That's what we're seeing with the insider traders here. That's what we're seeing with the Tornado Cash developer, and plenty of others as well. So, all right, let's move on. Let's talk about Cardano, because basically there have been some talks that Cardano is broken. I don't believe it's broken. Does the thumbnail say it's broken?
The title.
It's a very strong title. Very strong.
Cardano failure discovered is what the title says.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about it. I don't think it's a failure. We want to be clear on that. I was thinking, can we do a thing where I complain about the thumbnail every day? And so people will be like, oh, see, BitBoy hates clickbait too. No? No. Okay. We won't do that then. Thanks, TJ. Frankie would have agreed. He would have liked that. A prominent Cardano ecosystem developer, Adam Dean, has warned that the blockchain's testnet is catastrophically broken due to Cardano's rush to launch the Vassal hard fork upgrade. Let's see here. This is Adam Dean. He had a thread on this. A leading ecosystem developer and former Cardano stake pool operator tweeting a warning late Thursday. The Cardano testnet, which has been running for 2 years, has become incompatible with the current version of the blockchain's client software. It's important to point out today that the Cardano testnet is catastrophically broken due to a bug in Cardano node v.135 or 1.35.2. And I would say this, guys, that there's obviously a reason it's testnet, right?
Mhm.
It's not fully launched right now. And what we're seeing is they have a problem. Is they are trying to maybe potentially rush the hard fork, but they're not gonna launch it too fast. If there's a problem with the testnet, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna fix it before they launch the hard fork. I know that about Charles. He's not gonna rush. How many times have they rushed to launch anything?
I was gonna say, if there's
Never.
anything they're gonna do, it's not gonna be Russia. Promise you that.
No. And just a reminder, guys. Speaking of Cardano, you show this. Speaking of Cardano, we are doing the Rare Bloom event. This is our pin tweet. You guys make sure to go check this out. I'm going to be interviewing Charles on the big stage there. Also, Ben Gertzel. You guys know he's the creator of some of the most advanced AI in the world. One of the smartest dudes I've ever talked to. I'm just gonna say it. I think he's smarter than Charles Hoskinson. Charles Hoskinson's one of the smartest guys I've ever met. Ben may be smarter than Charles. I would say he is, actually. No offense to Charles. Charles is a genius, but Ben Gertzel's the smartest guy I ever talked to. I really believe that. He is he thinks on another level, and he's also able to communicate with you in a way to where even though you know like just a small percentage of what he does, he presents it to you in a way you can understand it for us simpletons. And it's very nice. Thanks, Ben, for that. You got to trust people named Ben, obviously. What were you showing up there?
I was grabbing the super chat.
Okay. All right.
We'll do it in Q&A.
So anyways, that's what Adam Dean said. He said the level of rushing from IOG to deploy the upgrade gave him uneasy feelings. And there were a nuclear clock for Cardano. We got perilously close to hitting midnight, he wrote, but it didn't happen. So there's going to be an update. It's going to be fixed. It's not going to be that big of a deal. I think he was just a little worried. He's kind of sounding some alarm bells to get some coverage on it so that, maybe he can hold IOG accountable. I think that's probably what it is.
And he is doing an AMA today, if you guys want more info.
Charles Hoskinson is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Charles Hoskinson said he's tired of taking the blame over ADA's delayed upgrades. Cardano blockchain continues to record interest amid increased development activity. Its network aspires to take over established competitors like Ethereum. However, the network has received criticism from a section of the crypto community over the ongoing developments due to factors such as delays. He said, "You're the SPOs. You ultimately decide. I'm seriously tired of taking the blame on both sides. Cardano is decentralized. The people running the network ultimately decide upgrades, not me." The code in question has been, let's see, this is what we were talking about here before, node 1.35.3. The code in question has been thoroughly tested for months by everyone, including SPOs. I guess stake pool operators is what that means, by the way. The code that was an issue on the testnet has been removed. So boom, they fixed it already. Where can I find which alien planets have been drawn? Yeah, go to the Pluto Alliance Discord. And also, what did Marie say up there? Scroll up the yellow one. Do we reference that? I don't know.
I grabbed it for the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to answer that question, Maurice, and at the end of the video. All right. We also have this. Cardano Network adds 5 smart contracts daily as Vassal upgrade edges closer. Cardano over the last month has onboarded 5 new Pluto scripts, going from 2927 to 3092 on August 18th. So you guys can see the scripts just continue climbing. Vassal hard fork is coming soon. Yada, yada, yada. The important thing is, it's me, Jessica. I'm not Nick. That's pretty funny. The fact here is that Cardano did have a failure that was discovered. It was a problem on the testnet. Guess what they did? They fixed it. Do you know what other places do when they have problems? They let it run. And that's what leads to problems like Terra Luna or Slope Wallet, right? When you see problems and vulnerabilities and you just let them go out there or you let them stay, that's very dangerous. The fact that this got solved so quickly, I think it's another vote of confidence. I have all the confidence in the world in Cardano. The only reason, in my opinion, that Cardano will not definitely overtake Ethereum is because Ethereum just has such a gigantic head start in usage compared to Cardano.
And
The developers, Cardano can make up in the meantime. What were you going to say?
I was going to say it's in the institutional club, Ethereum is as well, where
Right.
Cardano doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there were a lot of institutions adding Cardano
Yeah,
last
it's
year
getting
when it was around
closer.
the top. Yeah. So there you go. All right, we love Cardano for sure. Nearly $55 million worth of Bored Ape CryptoPunk NFTs risk liquidation amid debt crisis. Many owners of the Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks used them as collateral to take out loans in Ether. That's rough right there. So floor price dropped to 32, or dropped to 72. Let's see here. Is there a death spiral coming? Guys, I think we're going to see a dramatic drop in the price of Bored Apes. We're going to see a dramatic drop in the price of CryptoPunks. I think that overall, what we're seeing is that, these are not holding up super well in the bear market. We did not know how they were going to hold up in the bear market. You had people like Elio out there saying, hey, your best possible move is to move money over NFTs as it will hold your Ethereum better. Well, that hasn't turned out to be true. And I'm not saying, I like Elio.
Yeah.
I know him very well. I'm just making a point. That was something that we were discussing. That was something that we were looking at as we were heading to the bear market. How would the NFTs react to the bear market? And I believed, kind of like Elio did, that we were going to see NFTs have their own cycle, not necessarily relative to the overall crypto market. But looks like we were wrong on that.
Well,
and not only that, but it's actually been a terrible move because your Ethereum's going down and your floor price is going down. What are you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say it shows that this is a true ecosystem.
Yeah.
right? Like NFTs, we've never seen go into a bear market before. However, you look at this story, you think about it, NFTs pump, people take loans on them, they get more Ethereum, the Ethereum price goes down. It's very much like what happened with Celsius and Terra Luna. The whole ecosystem is tied together.
Yeah.
So when the underlying assets start to drop, of course, people panic sell and chase the bottom, and then
Yeah.
here we are. Now we know.
Well, we certainly have seen NFTs move kind of on their own cycle, but it still ultimately is being pulled down by the overall trend of the market.
Right.
So for sure. Now we haven't sold any of our NFTs. Why
Why
sell
not?
them at this point? We're gonna hold
Right.
on to them. I think in the bull run they'll go up. Will we see them get to higher prices? We don't know yet. Is that the peak of degenerative or not degenerative, generative trait NFTs? Potentially. So we'll see. All right, moving on here. We got this crypto juggernaut founder labels Meta and Microsoft as digital dictatorships. Who said that? Yatsui, the executive
Yatsui.
chairman of Animoca Brands, revealed the company's building a portfolio, 340 firms. And he said that currently none of the information you provide to Facebook belongs to you. It's owned solely by Facebook. I'm going to leave that there. We believe in a shared network, digital property rights for all, and equity in the field for creators. He believes the moment to pour more money into technology and Web3. He believes this is the moment. Obviously he does. His business is Web3.
Yeah.
I like Animoca Brands for
Yeah.
the record. I like Yatsui. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I generally like them. I like that when we talk about them, they will like get the clip and retweet it. I like that. So Animoca Brands, y'all are great with me. He associated the crypto winter with the 2018 market catastrophe. If it was a crypto winter, then 2018 was the crypto ice age. And I got to say, I believe that as well. I think even if we do hit the 85% number, we drop down to 10,300 or 10,600. This bear market has felt so much different than the last one. The last one, it did feel just the entire time like it was hopeless.
Mhm.
I think the experience of going through all these bear markets now has given just a much stronger confidence in the overall industry. So it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel like crypto is going to zero. 2018, there were times where you're like, well, why am I in this space? What am I doing? Did you have that thought? I definitely had that thought different times. So, all right, let's move on here. Ripple XRP, throw your X's up. Now, I do have, just so you guys know, I'm having a meeting with John Deaton today. And I can't tell you exactly what we're talking about, but there's big stuff going on behind the scenes right now, guys. And, I can't wait to have this conversation with him, get him on board with some of the stuff that we're doing. It's going to be really exciting. And I think overall, nobody works harder than John Deaton and for the XRP community, for the Ripple army, XRP army. Why could I not remember what to call it? And Cardano's got me all jacked up. It's like, I can't say Ada Gang. I got to say Cardano community. With the XRP army, as you guys see, I'm wearing my XRP army shirt today. You guys can get this at hitmerch.com.
It's in the description.
Officer 589. So there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and I think you're going to see Ripple continue to thrive as a company. One thing they just did, they partnered with Travelex to launch enterprise crypto payment service in Brazil. Now, we just looked at yesterday, like Brazil had a huge amount of volume earlier this week in the world of crypto. XRP token is set to be used to facilitate fast and cost-effective cross-border transactions in Brazil after the launch of Ripple's on-demand liquidity with Forex company Travelex. They announced this Thursday. Bom dia. Oh, that's Portuguese, I guess. That's why it didn't make sense to me. I do not know Portuguese at all. Brazil is open for Ripple's on-demand liquidity with Travelex, our first Latin American bank partner, and the first bank approved by the Central Bank of Brazil to operate exclusively in Forex, I guess that is. We're excited to bring crypto native solutions to Brazil. Now, why is this really important? Well, let's read this quote from Brad Garlinghouse, and I'll tell you why I think it's important. Brazil is a key market for Ripple, given its importance as an anchor to business in Latin America. Its openness to crypto and countrywide initiatives that promote fintech innovation. As a result, the market is experiencing an explosion of activity as institutions look to adopt crypto and blockchain technology to solve customer pain points. Now, here's why I think this is really interesting. Because what we're seeing, we've been seeing Ripple in the APAC region, the Asian Pacific region. You've been seeing them move in North Africa. You've been seeing them move in the Middle East. You've seen some movement in Europe. Where are they not really moving right now? The United States of America. Why? Obviously, they have an ongoing case with the SEC. So what we're seeing now is getting a lot closer to our borders now. They're moving to Brazil, South America, not that far relatively to our border compared to some countries in Asia or obviously Europe. I don't know, how far is Europe compared to Brazil? I wonder.
Distance?
Yeah. I wonder if, maps are weird. I wonder if actually it's closer to the UK from here than Brazil. Who knows? But it's at least on our side of the planet. It's at least on our hemisphere over here. So, can't wait to see what happens with that. There's so many unbanked people in Brazil, one of the most unbanked countries, I believe, percentage-wise. I read at one point I read a whole story about that. About there's so many people that just don't even have access to cell phones in different places in Brazil. So definitely one to watch. Let's see what happens here with this. XRP Army, make sure you throw the X up. Smash that like button if you're in the XRP Army or the Cardano community. I guess I'm in ETH Maxi, guys. What can I say?
It's closer to France,
We are closer to France than to
Brazil.
Wow, that's interesting, isn't it?
Actually, dramatically.
You wouldn't have thought that, though, would you?
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. No, it's close. Sorry, one was in kilometers, one was in miles. So we are 4,760 miles to France. I guess Spain would be a little bit closer.
Okay.
And we are 4,500 miles.
Oh, we are
to
closer
Brazil.
to
So
Brazil.
we are closer
Barely.
to Brazil. 7,300
Yeah, but to Spain,
kilometers.
Spain probably closer to us. So that's interesting. All right. That's all we got for that. Crypto exchange Gemini launches staking. I would not stake there. Tether's 8.5 billion commercial paper holdings validated by BDO audit. I've told you guys time and time again, the Tether FUD is way overblown. Started out as a terrible company, but they faked it till they made it. Self-custody solution Safe Heron raises $7 million and partners with MetaMask. Fortnite developer supports Animoca subsidiaries blockchain racing game. That's pretty cool. Grease Monkey Games. Then we have Run to Earn Protocol. Steppen announces NFT project collab with Atletico de Madrid. And don't forget to go check out MetaMoney on Twitter. They're going to be live streamed today at 1:30, giving away $200 worth of Ethereum. You guys want to check that out? Make sure to follow them on Twitter.
And some merch, too, I believe.
What's that?
I think they're giving some merch, too.
Oh, you're getting some merch. Will it be like a show-worn jersey from J-Chains?
Maybe. Oh, that's a good idea. Show-worn.
Show-worn. All right, here we go.
Reckless Robbie from earlier in the show. Down on a SNX. Should I cut losses and move to more ETH and ADA? Also love you guys. Watch every single day.
It depends on how far you're down.
Yeah.
In my opinion. If you're down just a little, like 5%, sure, go for it. If you're down like 70%, I wouldn't move it. I think SNX has proven over time that regardless of whether, there's some friendly regulation for it or not, it does have moments where it pumps out uncharacteristically from the rest of the market. That's what I'd be watching for. The next time synthetics got a large pump, maybe then I would consider selling.
Crypto Steve-O, when are you going to go on Crypto Banner Show? Rand always mentions you.
I talked to Rand. Me and Rand actually talk a decent amount. I know that's probably surprising because we're never on each other's shows. But basically, he messaged me the other day and asked me to come on his show. I volunteered myself on Twitter, and he messaged me. And because I think it's funny we don't go on each other's shows. I think people think we don't like each other or something.
It's mostly the time, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, his show's right before mine and, things like that. But basically what he told me is wait until I've got something really big going on, and then he'll have me on. So, like, basically have a reason for me to go on the show. They can supercharge it to make it the best show they ever did, obviously.
Hey. Realistic Super Bowl pick.
Buffalo Bills, let's go. Josh Allen's my favorite quarterback in the NFL. I love Josh Allen.
All right.
It's not Marcus Mariota. Hey, Desmond Ridder looked pretty good for the Falcons. He looked decent.
Yeah.
He looked decent. But Mariota looked good. He just ain't going to make it 3 or 4 games.
I was going to say.
Without getting injured.
Half a year if you're lucky. Buy Bitcoin and Ethereum or stick with ETH and ADA during the bear market.
Oh,
great AMA with the Pluto Alliance community yesterday.
Thank you, Maurice. Yeah, we had a really good time with that. We're going to continue that conversation with Pluto Alliance. You guys make sure to check out Pluto Alliance. You can find them on Twitter, and you can get to the Discord from there. But what I would say is I think ETH and ADA are great to hold right now. Bitcoin is shown as the dominance is getting eaten away. It's not as strong of a hedge for the rest of altcoins like it was at one time. So when you're looking at the top altcoins, I have no problem with you holding on to those.
Do you expect gas prices to keep dropping, or is it time to buy the dip on some oil futures?
Well, we have we're still sitting on that gas video, aren't we?
Yeah.
So annoying. We shot it, and then by the time it was done, gas prices started dropping. Basically, one of the ideas of that video is we are going to actually see gas prices go back up before the end of the year. So we're kind of waiting for that to release it. Why are we waiting? That way people are interested in it. And more, we put a lot of time and effort into a lot of these videos, and if they're not relevant time-wise, then they don't do as well. So we definitely want to make sure that one comes out at a good time. And we do think that is something that is going to happen. Gas prices will be going back up. We have actually said by the end of the summer, technically that's like the 3rd week of September. So over the next month, it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Could you have Charles Hoskinson on the live stream
yeah, at some point. He's very busy.
Yeah.
I asked him to do an interview. We went and did an interview with him in where do we do it at?
Wyoming, right?
No.
Colorado.
No.
Oh, NYC?
Consensus.
Yeah.
That's where it was. So we did that interview with him at Consensus, and it was a really great interview. We are going to be at the Rare Bloom event together on the 14th and 15th of October. So, we'll try to do some content.
Maybe we could do a special live stream there, and just if there's enough bandwidth, rather than an edited.
Yeah, potentially. It's Friday and a Saturday, so we'll do it on Friday.
Hmm.
I'm going to be so dead. I'm maybe flying back. I'm flying straight from Dubai to Denver. So
yeah, it's going to be long.
Really excited about that Dubai conference, though. It's going to be good. All right, guys, that's all we got for today. Thank you so much for watching the show. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you guys next week. I think we got some fun stuff we're doing on Monday, so make sure to come back for the show. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.